Hi folks, Chris here. Today I'm taking a look at the Major Pentatonic. I did an introductory video about the pentatonic in general a little while ago, so if you haven't seen that yet, definitely check that out. Just to recap, what is the Major Pentatonic? Well, it's a 5-note scale. Let's look at the C major. So you've got the 1, 2, the major or natural third, the 5th, the 6th, and back to the 1. An easy way to remember this is that it's the start of My Girl. So if you're ever trying to imagine in your head what it sounds like, what the major pentatonic sounds like as opposed to the minor pentatonic, for example, just think of the start of My Girl and there you go. Now you might remember that like the major scale has a relative minor, so the C major scale is relative to A minor. The major pentatonic also has a relative minor and it's the same minor. So the C major pentatonic has the same notes in it as the A minor pentatonic. So if you know your minor pentatonic, then you already know your major pentatonic scale. All you have to do is practice playing it in that context. Now, you might have noticed that the major pentatonic has a 1, a natural third, and a natural 5th in it, which means that within the scale itself, you have a major triad, that is a major chord. And what that actually means is that within the 5 vertical box shapes of the pentatonic that you have up the neck, within each of those you have one of the caged system major chords. So if we take the C major scale for example, we start down here. So the first position in this case would be this. And within that position we have the caged C shape chord. Our next shape is here. And we have the A shape. The next shape is the commonly known minor pentatonic box shape. Our root is here, and we have the G shape. The next shape is the major pentatonic starting on the root. And we have the E shape. And the last shape is here. We have the D shape. So anytime you play one of those caged chords anywhere on the neck, you know that you can play a major pentatonic built around that chord. So what can we use the major pentatonic for? Well, obviously you can use the major pentatonic over a major scale. So if you've got a song in the key of C, for example, you can play a C major pentatonic over any chord progression based in that key. But if we look at our standard diatonic harmony, so in the key of C, for example, we've got C major, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A minor, B half diminished, and back to C. So in there we've got 3 major chords. So you've got your C major, F major, and G major. And that means you can use the C major pentatonic, the F major pentatonic, and the G major pentatonic in the key of C. Obviously, each of those has its relative minor. So there are really 3 major minor pentatonic pairs within the key. And you can use any of those to add extra color and interest to your solos. Obviously, you can play, for example, the F major pentatonic over the F major chord, but you can also play it elsewhere in your solo and it will give you different scale intervals to play with. So your G major pentatonic, for example, has in the key of C, D5, D6, D7, D2 or 9, and D3, and then we're back to the 5. So if you play that over a C major chord, for example, gives you a different set of tensions and colours than your C major pentatonic, for example. Now, one more thing you can do with the major pentatonic is to add back in the 2 notes that are missing from the scale. So obviously you've got a 5-note scale with the pentatonic. The standard major scale, for example, has 7 notes, so you can add back in the missing major 7 and the 4. Obviously that stops it from being a pentatonic anymore, but it's a good stepping stone. So you've got the pentatonic shapes that you're very familiar with, and you can just occasionally throw in, say, the 7 to add a little extra interest for your solo. So something like, rather than just sticking with the 5 notes, which can get a little boring if you are just playing the 1 major pentatonic the whole time. So I hope that's been useful. The pentatonic is a really useful stepping stone between something relatively simple, so most guitarists will learn pretty early on at least one box shape of, for example, a minor pentatonic, so like an A minor pentatonic. And you know now that you can play that over a C major chord and it'll give you a C major pentatonic, and you can move that around, you can play that over different caged chord shapes, you can blend different pentatonics together within the one key and the one solo, you can add a couple of extra notes, and it takes you from something quite simple to something really complex in many ways. So have a play around with that. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.